amazing season of high school football, and throughout the year, we highlighted 10 outstanding performances as News 5 Players of the Week. Over the next half hour, we are going to look back on those performances and what made these 10 stand out. We start with two of the top backs in the area and a do-it-all quarterback.
News 5 Sports Player of the Week is sponsored by Toyota.
Glance.
When it's necessary, Baylor Necessary steps in and delivers. A memorable name and even more memorable presence on the football field for the Hilltoppers.
You know, I think he's the heart and soul. He's a defensive captain, of course, but, I mean, he's just the captain overall, and he can just do some great things for us.
I know I got the trophy, but really, I'd give it to any one of those guys on the team. They deserve it just as much as me. Those are my brothers. That's my family.
Congratulations to Science Hills, Baylor Necessary, our News 5 Player of the Week. Let's go, guys. In what were very recently some dark and trying days, Ryco football is back. At the center of it and under center is Landon Lane.
He is a very special player, and he means a whole lot to this program and me personally. Come so far from day one when I met him, you know, years ago.
Ryco, the name is just, I'm super proud of it. I tell anybody, I'm not ashamed to tell you that.
Congratulations to this week's News 5 Player of the Week, Ryco's Landon Lane. For Johnson County Junior running back Juan Mejia, when a hole opens, he hits it.
Oh, I just see the green. I just see the touchdown. That's all I look for.
And that dates back to a simple principle he learned watching YouTube videos of his favorite players.
Patience. Just watching, like, where your hole is, and it's not going to be, like, an open gap every time. You just got to be patient, wait for your blocks to hit.
Congratulations to Johnson County's Juan Mejia, our News 5 Player of the Week. Go, guys. So let's bring in my co-host to talk about our first three players of the week winners. Steve, Baylor Necessary. He's a stud. What is it about him that's made him so dangerous this year?
Well, everybody knows what he does at linebacker, but it's his versatility that makes Baylor Necessary a special player and certainly a Player of the Year candidate. You look at his stats. Science would bring him in short yardage situations, put the Wildcat formation in on offense. Baylor ran for almost 600 yards, 9.6 yards a carry, 11 touchdowns on the season. Defensively, 128 tackles in 10 games. That's almost 13 tackles a game. Oh, he was 2 for 2 passing for 2 touchdowns, punted a dozen times for 40 yards. Baylor did it all for the Toppers. Great season for him.
Yeah, all three facets of the game right there. Well, we go to the other side of the state line. When you look at Ryco's Landon Lane, this is a kid that from the beginning all year has just been one of the better players in that area. And they don't throw the ball too much there in Duffield. They like to run it, but he's kind of the main catalyst in that. He gets outside, runs right up the gut. He takes it himself, and he just facilitates it on both sides of the ball. And I think when I got to catch up with him back early in the season, because he was our week 2 Player of the Week, you can just tell what a great kid he is. He's so humble, and I just can't believe just the turnaround that he's helped kind of steer the ship in that direction. So it's been great to see. Now we move to another one. Heather, what about Johnson County's Juan Mejia?
We talk about turnaround. They certainly had one this year, and Mejia was a big reason why. Over 1,100 yards rushing, 1,200 total yards on the year, 24 touchdowns, 8 yards per carry. And he didn't play a full season. And the drop-off on that team when he didn't play was just incredible. I mean, he's without a doubt the MVP of that team, and really would have, if not been injured, I think I'm not giving away too much here, would have probably been a strong contender for Player of the Year, but the injury really kind of, hindered that a little bit, but still an incredible player, Mejia.
And that's just the first 3 of the 10 outstanding high school football players we honored throughout the season. When we come back, a look at the players who were top dogs in weeks 4, 5, and 6 of the season.
God gave us the first gift of Christmas, a most holy and wonderful one, when he looked down in mercy and gave us the gift of his Son. Jesus is the gift that perfectly fits our heart. As we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, let us keep in mind the true meaning of Christmas Day.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
Living Water Vein Institute and Medical Spa in Johnson City, your region's center of excellence for varicose and spider vein treatment, is proud to open our newest center in Southwest Virginia in Abingdon.
Dr. Berry is the only triple certified vein specialist in the region, treating veins in the feet, legs, hands, and face, offering both invasive and non-invasive treatments. We can help where others have failed.
At Living Water Vein Institute and Medical Spa, whether your need is medical or cosmetic, we will help you look and feel your best. Now in both Johnson City and Abingdon.
Snow, ice, freezing temperatures, winter weather can majorly impact you and your family. Count on the Storm Track 5 team to keep you safe, to alert you when bad weather is on the way, to time out the storms so you know what to expect. Crucial weather information you need to know on all platforms from a team you trust. Download the Storm Track 5 weather app now so you get alerts when bad weather is about to hit where you are. Be prepared this winter with Storm Track 5.
At News 5, when news breaks, we cover what is happening now, any new developments, and what to expect next.
From local news to weekend weather and national affairs, we find out how today's events will impact you and your family.
Storm Track 5 will keep you informed on what to expect so you can plan ahead.
We focus on bringing news and weather to you, on air, online at WCYB.com, social media, and our news and weather apps.
News 5, your source for news wherever you are.
Spend your holidays at the Kelly Clarkson Show.
Sounds terrific, Kelly.
Yes, it does. Plus, Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles. Next, Kelly.
Hey, guys, ready?
Today at 3 on News 5.
Our next 3 Players of the Week winners put up some pretty impressive numbers throughout the season and led their respective teams on deep playoff runs. This group includes the most dynamic runner in the region and 2 of the top quarterbacks.
News 5 Sports Player of the Week is sponsored by Toyota.
Humble and kind. Just a couple of words to describe senior QB1 Ryan O'Quinn.
He's kind of what we hope we'll have more of in the future here.
Football can be looked at as just a game, but I look at it as you can take a lot more out of the game. So I try to lead by example.
Congratulations to Ridgeview's Ryan O'Quinn, our News 5 Player of the Week.
Here we go.
Greeneville head football coach Eddie Spradlin loves his senior standout, Carson Quillen.
It's been an honor and privilege to coach him, and feel like he's been here forever and need him to stay a few more years.
You never know when the last snap will be your last snap. One injury away, one cut away from being done, really.
He's got something in him a lot of kids don't. When it gets tough, he's going to be there, and you can count on him to do everything you want him to. It means a lot to this school, this community, and without a doubt, this football team.
Congratulations to this week's News 5 Player of the Week, Greeneville's Carson Quillen.
We fought through it, though, and handled that adversity and walked out with the win this week.
Bostic leading the win with 3 touchdown passes and over 100 yards rushing, plus an interception late to seal the win.
Look, I was just in the right place at the right time.
But none of it coming as a surprise to Bostic's head coach, who has seen him grow up, including the transition from receiver to quarterback just this year.
We just let his athletic ability take over. When he was in the 4th, 5th grade, he was a ball boy for us, so he's been around for a long time.
A true leader on and off the field. The calm through the storm for the Bears. Congratulations to this week's News 5 Player of the Week, Union High School's Cam Bostic. So this group includes a couple of quarterbacks and a prolific running back attack. Heather, let's start with what makes Ridgeview's Ryan O'Quinn so special.
Well, he's a 4-year starter. How often do you get to say that anywhere on any level? I don't care if it's the smallest schools. A 4-year starter at quarterback is special. But then his talent, his ability to throw the ball, his ability to scramble when he needs to, and his pure leadership, it is a big reason why for the past 4 years, Ridgeview has been one of the dominant teams in Region 2D.
Yeah, it's been pretty great. Steve, we're going to go to Carson Quillen, our Greeneville standout. His numbers speak for themselves. What can you say about this kid?
Another versatile football player, maybe not as versatile as much this year, maybe not required for the Green Devils. He played offense, special teams, and defense up to this year, mainly a running back this year. 1,656 yards rushing, 32 total touchdowns for the Green Devils. An amazing season, an amazing career. Look at the games won and lost by Greeneville. You look at those stats almost every week for Greeneville. In Quillen, you could almost put down 200 yards, 2 or 3 touchdowns every single week. He was their go-to guy. And you look at those stats, and perhaps they could have been even better had Greeneville not blown out a lot of competition. And there's several games only had 8, 9, 10 touches per game. So an amazing season for Carson Quillen.
Yeah, and we look at the stats a lot, but when, you know, sometimes I don't look always at the stats. There's some situations like this next one in Union's Cam Bostic where I believe a lot of it is just about the situation and what happened. So there was a week where obviously everything happened with Hurricane Helene, and there's a lot of things going on. But Cam Bostic, in that week, Union had their game postponed about 3 times over the weekend against Gate City, and that game was set to be at Gate City. Last second, they said power went out. So they had to hop on a bus and go play at Dobbins-Bennett. And late Monday night, I don't think anyone was getting home till 2 in the morning. And Cam put on a show like he has a lot this year. And we've seen Cam do this all year, and he did it in the region semifinals, the game-winning touchdown to get to the region final in Class 2D. You know, this kid, he's another one that's so humble in the way he works. He never played quarterback until this year for Union. He stepped in, he stepped up, and definitely one of the best players in the region, especially in Southwest Virginia. So the great thing about high school sports is you never know who's going to step up when their moment arrives. That was certainly the case for our Week 7 and 8 honorees, and we take a look at them when our News 5 Player of the Year special returns. My favorite Christmas memory was actually back when I was in high school. Came home from school one day, and the Christmas tree was on the ground inside the living room, ornaments all over the place, and I think it was the cat that did it. He was standing right there.
A painter can't brush off the problems.
These are buckled. This is messy. Messy.
When I called him back, I just got nasty text messages.
Judge Judy.
Today at 4 on News 5 WCYB.
If you're watching this Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance commercial, there's a good chance that you're alive. And if you're not, well, this may not be of interest to you. Now, I know what you're thinking. Life insurance? I'm going to live forever. Death is what happens to other people. Well, for the sake of argument, let's assume you're wrong and that someday you won't be watching TV anymore. I know it's not easy to talk about, so I'll do the talking. If you're 50 plus and alive, you can apply for Gerber Life Guaranteed Life Insurance with guaranteed acceptance, regardless of your health. And since this life insurance is guaranteed, you don't have to get a medical exam. In fact, you don't even have to fill out a health questionnaire. For a free quote, just call 800-441-3797. Then when you stop, if you stop watching TV, your family can use the insurance money to help cover your final expenses or anything else. For a free quote, call today, 800-441-3797. Your kids already inherited your ears, allergies, and questionable singing voice. Don't make them inherit your final expense tab, too.
It's a season to love at Mercedes-Benz of Kingsport. Hi, I'm Zach Thomas, and this holiday season, we're spreading the love with vehicles that make every journey unforgettable. Whether it's reuniting with loved ones or creating new memories, there's no better way to celebrate the season than with a new or certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. And our experienced and friendly team is here to help you unwrap that perfect gift and make this Christmas one to remember. Come experience the difference at Mercedes-Benz of Kingsport. And from our family to yours, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Horses power Virginia's economy. They power an industry that every year creates over 38,000 jobs and contributes over $1.3 billion in economic impact. And not just in obvious ways. Think about the farmers, the farriers, the feeders, the athletes, trainers, drivers, and jockeys, the caretakers and landscapers, investors and interns, restaurant owners, restaurant workers, tour guides, trail guides, and equine therapists, the veterinarians and entrepreneurs, equipment manufacturers, and event coordinators. The equine industry sparks joyful, heart-pounding, memory-creating, money-generating, hoof-beating excitement. But most important, horses power a vibrant, dedicated, successful workforce. Now that's horsepower. Virginia's economy wins with horses.
Whether you've been naughty or nice, this Christmas night, catch 2 holiday favorites, A Grinchmas Delight. It's the animated classic, followed by Jim Carrey and the holiday blockbuster. Tonight on NBC.
Fabulous!
This is the most money anyone has won in the history of television.
It's torture.
Deal or No Deal Island, January 7th on NBC and Peacock.
To be a News 5 Player of the Week, you don't always have to be the best player in the area. Sometimes you can just be the best player on any given night. And that was certainly the case for our next 2 honorees.
News 5 Sports Player of the Week is sponsored by Toyota.
When Austin Franklin straps up and touches the football, all bets are off.
I knew he had a great game. I was like, man, he racked up some yards tonight. But then when I got the stats, I was like, whoa.
Couldn't stop thinking about it, actually.
Franklin registering 466 all-purpose yards and 6 touchdowns on just 11 touches, setting multiple team and state records. Congratulations to Austin Franklin from West Green, our News 5 Player of the Week. Go, guys. Football means the world to Rhett Slagle, even if it didn't start out that way.
I was in about 4th grade. I decided I was going to stop roping cattle and riding horses, and I was going to start playing sports.
Couldn't be more happier to have a guy like him to lead our offense and just to be around. You know, he's a winner.
On Friday night, Slagle brought the Cyclone Storm to Northview Academy in a near-perfect game, completing all 21 of his pass attempts for 282 yards and accounting for all 6 of the Cyclone touchdowns through the air and on the ground. Congratulations to this week's News 5 Player of the Week, Rhett Slagle. Steve, West Green's Austin Franklin. West Green had an up-and-down year, but he had a couple of big booming nights at quarterback and receiver for West Green. So, Steve, what can you say about him?
Well, that's what makes this Player of the Week program special. This is not a career award. It's not a single-season award. But on any given one night, somebody can do something really, really special. That's what Austin Franklin did for West Green against Cumberland Gap. 466 all-purpose yards and 6 touchdowns. That's a career night. Okay, so it wasn't a career award. That's almost a career night for Austin Franklin. And so that's what I really love about this program, this Player of the Week program. It's not the stars all the time. It's somebody who gets their opportunity, takes advantage of it, and plays the game of their life in that one week and earns well-deservedly the Player of the Week.
Yeah, and then Heather, it was by Betsy's standards kind of a down year, but Rhett Slagle certainly was a bright spot on that team.
Yeah, stepped into quarterback, really was a settling force for that team, the leader for Elizabeth, and yeah, it was a disappointing year for them, but he was not the reason why they were down. They were just a little young, and he had some youth as well, especially at the quarterback position, but an outstanding season and certainly a great week, the week that he won Player of the Week.
The final 2 Players of the Week for the 2024 season was actually 3 players. We'll explain in the News 5 Player of the Year special returns.
Life was great. My back pain, not so much. My personalized arch support system from the Good Feet store got me back in the picture.
Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Closed captioning of News 5 programs is funded by a grant from
10,000 off a Ford Mach-E during the model year-end sales event, Friendship Ford, Bristol.
We're dealing. Welcome to Chicken Salad Chick.
Looking for love, I forgot what I miss, but I remember that high. The first thing I'd say, this is pure, this is perfect, something nothing else can do, just you. So give me you.
There's no place like the Chick.
Building products for the particular at Godsey Supply, offering quality products including Benjamin Moore paint, cabinetry, hardware, decking, railing, windows, doors, lumber, and more. Family owned for over 30 years. Shop locally with Godsey Supply.
Ready to have some fun? Yeah. Somebody's having a night tonight. I love this wheel.
Tonight at 7 on News 5 WCYB.
Player of the Year honorees include a receiver who came up big when called on to the lineup under center, and a pair of brothers who rewrote the history books at their respective school.
News 5 Sports Player of the Week is sponsored by Toyota.
I got taken out of my home when I was like 5.
Early on, the game of life was not easy for Hayden Sinclair.
From 5 to 7, I was looking for a home, and then when I was 7, BJ Sinclair picked me up, and so I've been with him ever since.
Introduced to a new family, a new life, but also to the game of football.
Our quarterback went down in the Patrick Henry game, and he really stepped up to the plate.
With the torch now handed to him under center, fittingly, Sinclair would lead a game-winning drive in the final minutes. Congratulations to this week's News 5 Player of the Week, Holston's Hayden Sinclair. Go, guys. Honaker football operates as a tight family, but what makes it even stronger is one dynamic duo from within. Peyton would break a school record he set himself, throwing for 470 yards, 265 of those yards and all 5 touchdowns going to Avery.
Coach Wicks came up and told me that I broke those records, and I was like, wow, I didn't even notice that.
He's always competitive. We've always competed our whole lives. We've just been competitive towards each other in everything we do.
Double duty this week. Congratulations to this week's News 5 co-players of the week from Honaker, Peyton and Avery Music. Now we go over to this one. This is a great story in Holston's Hayden Sinclair, just getting to talk to him, especially kind of pulled a story out of a story, just talking to him in the journey he's been on.
Yeah, you mentioned it in your story. Foster kid, he was not the starting quarterback, starting receiver, which, by the way, had a great season at receiver for Holston. Could have maybe won this award at receiver, but he steps in for 2 weeks for their injured starting quarterback in Noah Tweed, and Holston doesn't miss a beat. And a kid that is that versatile, that can do that, and then go back to receiver, and oh, by the way, have a great week. The week that he made back to receiver, it just says how special a kid that Hayden Sinclair is.
Yeah, Steve, it's hard to put into words just how much the Music Brothers have meant to Honaker football program over the last couple of years, this year specifically, in Peyton's last year.
Honaker had that great season last year, lost some key components, started 2-3, and then suddenly they decided, you know what? We need to go to the music. We need to go back to the score. You know, those two brothers were in harmony. If we could do this all night.
Yeah, we could.
But once they decided that let's get the ball in Avery Music's hands, Peyton Music was the guy to do that. Honaker's season turned around. They won 5 straight games, scoring 26 or more in all 5 of those games. The decision to just ride with the Music Brothers was a big one for Honaker and their eventual success and, you know, into the second round of the playoffs this year.
So which one of these 10 outstanding players was our News 5 Player of the Year, and who got the fan vote? That answer when we return.
Massive savings on new GMCs at Champion GMC, Stone Drive, Kingsport, with rates as low as 0% and discounts up to $11,000. 24 Sierra $1,500 up to $11,000 off. 24 Sierra HD $4,000 off MSRP. Champion GMC, Stone Drive, Kingsport, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
The implant solutions that my team at Martin Dentistry offer are truly life-changing. We can eliminate your dental pain. We can help you eat whatever you want, whenever you want. And we can help you smile again without fear of embarrassment.
Massive savings on new GMCs at Champion GMC, Stone Drive, Kingsport, with rates as low as 0% and discounts up to $11,000. 24 Terrain, $5,500 off. 24 Canyon, $3,000 off. 24 Yukon, $6,000 off MSRP. Champion GMC, Stone Drive, Kingsport, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
Time to select our Player of the Year. There were obviously 10 really good candidates, but there was one whose numbers and team success stood above the rest.
The Region 1 4A Player of the Year, Carson Quillen.
Inside Greeneville football's media room, it's all smiles. While 2024 did not end in a state title as hoped, it still came with a lot of season accolades, specifically for senior Carson Quillen.
A dang dude, a dog. You say, he's a special football player.
Quillen ending his career as a Green Devil as the Region 1 4A Player of the Year and a Mr. Football finalist, accumulating nearly 2,000 yards of offense with 35 total touchdowns.
Being a kid growing up in Greeneville, being able to play here for 4 years and accomplish, the things I've been able to accomplish with, my team and, the coaches, it means a lot to me. It's special.
And aside from the numbers, more impressive on Quillen's resume is that football is his second sport.
A tremendous baseball player, but, the whole time I know he's good at baseball, but he's as good or better at football.
Okay, it's technically my second sport, but to me, right now, I really love both sports, and I would consider doing both at the collegiate level if possible.
As a Virginia Tech baseball commit, Quillen still leaves behind a remarkable legacy on the football field.
He means the world to me. It's been a privilege to get to watch him play football, but more importantly, it's been a privilege to be a part of his life.
Everyone's going to remember some of your big games, your big moments, but, looking back on, the kind of team and the stuff we were able to do through my 4 years here, I couldn't be more grateful for the ability to just be able to play.
To put a wrap on the high school football season, our News 5 Player of the Year goes to Greeneville's Carson Quillen. There were a lot of great players, but it is pretty hard to deny how great Quillen has been this season, guys. Football isn't even his main sport. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is incredible to think that this guy's going to play high-level Division I baseball, not football. But what he does on the football field, Steve, is really incredible.
Well, we've watched him for 3 or 4 years now. I can remember a game a couple of years ago against Dobbins Bennett, made a big play on a 2-point conversion, denied Dobbins Bennett the win. He's just continued to do that. Greeneville football will miss Carson Quillen. We've had a fabulous time watching him, and he's a well-deserved Player of the Year.
And as you can see, it was a Quillen sweep across the board from our crew, myself, Heather Williams, Lauren Bradford, and Kesey Getz, all in favor of Quillen as our Player of the Year. The final portion of the Player of the Year vote went to the fans, though, and that's what Lauren Bradford has for us.
Congratulations to our News 5 fan vote Player of the Year, Rye Cove's Landon Lane.
Well, the fans wanted their voices heard, too, and their fan vote Player of the Year was Ryco senior quarterback Landon Lane, and an award well-deserved. An incredible senior campaign as a leader on and off the field that helped the Eagles to a remarkable 3-year turnaround. Lane passed for over 1,600 yards and 23 touchdowns while adding nearly 1,500 yards and 28 more touchdowns on the ground.
It just proves, these fans, the community around here just comes together to, do something nice like that. But they've supported us all year, and I can't really say enough about them, especially, playing in the game and having them behind us. But I love and appreciate every single one of them, and, hopefully it stays like this for a long time.
All right, so look at how the fan vote shook out. After weeks of voting on our website, Lane won by a large margin. Look at that, 38% of your vote went to Lane. Ridgeview's Ryan O'Quinn and Union's Cam Bostic finished tied for second with 13% of the vote. Johnson County's Juan Mejia was fourth with 11%, and Holston's Hayden Sinclair rounded out the top 5 with 10%. That'll do it. Thanks for spending your holidays with us, honoring some of the outstanding student athletes in the area. For Steve Wilmoth, Heather Williams, I'm Cole Johnson. I hope you have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Christmas